Okay, hello. Welcome to another Isle of Fitness like little mini podcast. My name is Sean Clifford. I'm the owner operator of Isle of Fitness. It is an online coaching business that serves dads carrying 40 pounds plus based on common sense habit building rather than fad diets and miserable training programs. I'm very excited to be uh, on this conversation with a current client. I call my clients partners because we're in partnership, Mr. David Rayle. David we've been working together for just over 3 months, and I will talk a bit more about how David's been doing. But we recently started it up. I do 12-week programs, and he is back on to his first week on a new phase. Hugely excited to talk to David. We're going to find out more from him about what he was going through. But for people that are watching, whether this is on Instagram or YouTube or a different channel, I wanna just give you a flavor of you know what I do, the superstars like David that I help, how they, you know, what they experience, on their program working with me. And if you are a dad and you're carrying 40 pounds plus, and you're feeling like crap, and you're feeling hopeless, and you're feeling like it's game over, please do not feel that way. It is likely that I could help you, and I hope that this video encourages you to maybe reach out and say hello. I only work with people, and when I say work with, you are hiring me. You are hiring me to help you change your life. We only work together if it is a good fit, because we have to work together for 12 weeks, so it better be. So I hope that this message, along with seeing the other posts that you see on my Instagram page, for example, or my website, ilovefitness.com, are giving you some hope that there is a way to get in better shape without those traditional methods that are frequently miserable, unsustainable, and they perpetuate a yo-yo cycle of doom. With that, David, thanks for being on the call today on the podcast. Fantastic to have you here.
Happy to be here, brother.
David, you are looking good, sir. We are in, week one of a second 12-week phase. Very excited to sort of spotlight your journey, what you've been through. So just going to ask you, a few, some questions about that, about your experience. But just want to, starting off, do want to set the scene. If you don't mind, I would love to hear and share with our viewers, where you were kind of at before we had a conversation. You know, what's your, do you mind, if you don't mind sharing, like, what your line of business is, but particularly, where you were at with like your health, your weight, your fitness.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So, in residential home sales, so essentially, I go into folks' homes and educate them and sell them on construction type business. Um, where was I at? Well, I kept saying to myself, I'm gonna, I got to do something about my weight because every time I look, I'm putting on some more weight. So I was I just hit this I just hit that rock I hit 260 and I said, man, something's got to give here. I am sitting on the couch every day after I come home from work. I'm sitting on the couch all weekend. I'm eating, I'm not moving. I'm already thinking about end of life stuff, man. Like what the hell? Like this is what am I going to do? I'm not in good shape. I mean, this is not the way that I want to finish out life. And Christ, I hope I'm nowhere close. But that's what my life consisted of: eating, working, and being horizontal on the couch, and just looking forward to the weekend so that I can either drink my face off, eat my face off, and just veg and be a vegetable on the couch. That was pretty much it. It was miserable. It was a miserable existence. and I wasn't living. I wasn't living.
You know, it's so familiar. Like, as a fellow dad, was doing that myself. Like, my I filled the void with food, drink, and booze. If I was happy, I was eating. If I was bored, I was eating. If I was snacky, I was obviously eating. But just like it was non-stop. I know for me, David, I put on 40 pounds in 2.5 years. I always say that's an 80 pound in 5 year pace, pretty frightening. And that was with some self-control. That was and I knew what I was doing um when I was having seconds and thirds and finishing my kids' leftovers and going to the gas station and chunking together soda, chips, and a pastry as well as my sandwich or the takeout. Does that sound familiar with yourself with your routine? It's like you're eating, you're consuming constantly. You know that it's not good, but you just keep doing it.
Yeah, and you know what the strange thing is I eat like I don't eat horribly like too much fast food. I never have. I don't drink. I've never drank too much soda. My worst part was the evenings. I'd bored and I'd just devour, right? I would eat dinner and then I would snack and then I would snack and there was just never any satisfaction happening there. So it was constantly putting calories into my body while not burning any off at the same time. It was pretty miserable, man.
I appreciate it. David, you said, 260 in your own words was rock bottom. I am a fellow rock bottom dad. I hit a rock bottom December 30th, 2018. Can you remember, was there a point where you're like, shit, like, this is bad?
So I I played a lot of sports as a kid, and I was relatively skinny as a kid. Then I got into my 30s, and I was up into the 190s, but I'm 6 foot tall. I always wore my weight well, and even to this day, when I was 260, everybody said, "Oh, you don't look that. You don't look that." And I'm like, "No, I feel it. My knees feel it." Anyway, around 20 years ago, I was sitting at about 205. I was doing pretty good. And then that kind of gradually went up over the years. And then I was at 230. I sat at 230 for felt like 10 years probably. COVID hit. And everybody's got the COVID excuse, right? And I used it as mine too. I had a stressful job at that time. I was a general manager of a company, and it was a lot on my plate, and I ate it. Everything on my plate, I ate it. I said, if it's there, I'm gonna eat it. And that's when I ballooned to 260. It kind of it was like just happened overnight. It's like next thing I know, it's like 240. I'm like, oh God, if I hit 250, oh man, 250. If I hit 260, was there an exact moment that I said I think it was just 260? There wasn't a specific moment for me because in my mind I felt like, well, you still eat relatively healthy. You don't eat horrible food. You're still you're a healthy 260.
Mhm.
I had had knee surgery done last year, and and that was from my work over the years. I kneeling as a service guy and all, and um, there was a lot of stress on my knees, but I know that most of the stress was created by the weight, and my body's been feeling it. Like I feel my joints feel it, and I went on a blood pressure medication. My doctor put me on high blood pressure, and an antidepressant, and I just said, I don't want to be this guy. I don't want, this is not me. I am, and I'm not a believer. I mean, those things they have their moments for the people that need them. It's fine. I don't begrudge anybody for taking any of them. But anyway, no, I'm sorry. I went off pace off the beaten path there a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it was a lot of that. It was just saying, what, I'm tired of. I don't want to be on medications for the rest of my life. I need to do something about this. But still, I wasn't acting. And even though I noticed in my head, I was saying I needed to do something.
Mhm.
I wasn't doing anything.
So it's little, hitting the 260 in the scale, the blood pressure medication, you're feeling it in your knee joints, things like that. So life is happening. You're doing the 9 to 5 grind and all this, and you're seeing these little, you know, you know, if not red flags, little alarm bells going off here, and you're like, I don't want to be this guy. Do you mind if I, touch on, you're a dad and you're a granddad. You're 55, by the way.
Mhm.
You know, what, as you hit the scale, as the BP medication's coming in, you're feeling it in your knees. You're saying to yourself, I don't want to be finishing up anytime soon. Do you mind if I, ask you, David, about what, what aspect or role, your sons and your grandson uh, came into your decision making process with regards to this, if any at all?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, mostly this was for me. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. But I love my kids and I want to be around for them. I want to be and I want to be around for my grandson. I don't see him nearly as much as I'd like to, but I'd like to be healthy enough to walk with them. I'd like to be healthy enough to walk with my kids, to go to a ball game, whatever. I don't want to be wheeled in. I don't want to be wheeled onto the plane. I want to be walking onto the plane. I want to go out standing up for best as I can anyway. So yeah, I mean, it was a combination of things. It was so yeah, I can be healthy in the long term.
Hmm.
But a lot of it was for me. It was making a decision to do this for myself, for my longevity, and that would obviously transfer to those I love around me for sure.
Absolutely, and love it. And I hear from dads that say, I want to get healthy for my kids, and
Mhm.
then there's others, and I think it's all kind of overlaps. Yeah, at some point
Yeah,
it's like, I want to get healthy for me, and if you're doing it for, if you're, when you're coming from that perspective of I'm doing it for me, yes, you are that you. It cascades into every other aspect of your life as well, which is a nice benefit.
yeah.
Okay, so David, you started following me on Instagram. I can remember clearly. I maybe sent you a message going, "Hey, David, are you here? I just out of interest or whatever." Maybe didn't hear back from you. Another message I maybe sent out something or whatever. And can you? I will share with the audience if you can't remember specifically, but I can remember what you said to me initially. Can you remember what you said?
Well, first of all, I was sitting around doing nothing on Instagram, and I honestly had no. I wasn't looking for anything, Sean. You just popped up on my screen and said, "I like the way this guy talks." And maybe it was the accent. You're a handsome guy. You were a funny guy.
I
So maybe I was
appreciate it. Yeah.
just, I was just like, hey, something attached me there. You brought me in, and I was like, so I started catching a couple of your videos, and I'm not sure if I followed you at that point or what, however, but you sent me a message, and I pretty much said, back off, Bucko.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't come at me with a hard
Yeah.
sell.
Yeah.
That's the worst part you're gonna get. You're getting.
Yeah.
You're like, no, 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 no. And and then you just sent me a couple of videos, and they were personalized, which that was really really good. You sent me I was like, whoa, he's actually sending this message to me. This wasn't a generic message. And then I thought, I'm listening. I watch your videos, and I just said, man, this guy's authentic. He's authentic, and I see, he's done the work. This is something he's done. I said, he's not he's not pushing anything on me. This isn't a push. This is authentic. This is coming across from somebody's heart. He wants to help people. He's done it. He knows the difference he's made for himself, and he wants to share it. And I said, man, when I'm at my best at my job, people know it's my passion. They're looking at me going, wow, you really love your job. You're passionate. And that's what I sensed in you. So exactly what I said to you. If you want to share it with me, please go ahead.
Okay, with the audience, it was a couple of messages, and then David wrote back. He said, "Please don't talk to me anymore. I hate, it was like I don't want to have this conversation, and I hate sales." And I remember I was like, fair enough. So what I did was just like, I think I got a piece of paper, and I wrote on like, no problem, David Rail. I took a picture,
Yeah,
sent that to you, and that was it. And that was like I was like, well, this guy's obviously just whatever. And I don't even know why I did it. Maybe there is like sometimes things are meant to, what are meant to be are meant to be. Send that to you, and then I think you started like looking at my stuff, and I appreciate what you're saying there, David, about me and my energy. Just talking quickly about me. I love doing this shit. I love doing this work. And we're going to get into how it's affected you. How I know that when I made these changes as an obese, exhausted, hopeless, defeated feeling dad, when I made these changes myself, and I was like, okay, not easy, but it was simple. And becoming a coach, coaching men and women, focusing on mainly on dads for I Love Fitness, and then we're going to get into what you've been going through as well. Um, I was going to ask you there, about what caught your eye, but you already shared and appreciate that. I have been someone that has, done this work myself instead of a 22-year-old Instagram bro that's 3% body fat and
Yeah,
doesn't quite know the struggle yet, David. Yeah, like
yeah,
you're a father of two, you're a grandfather as well. You're at a point in the fatherhood spectrum. I'm on the side with still like younger kids, but it is a grind, and the grind doesn't stop whether you've got younger kids or older kids. That life and work is it it does take a toll. um so I appreciate that. And just the other question here was kind of like the hesitation. So if you don't mind me asking just a bit more on that. I sent you that picture. You started sort of like looking through my videos, my stuff, and then you tell me, because I can remember pretty what happened after that, because I sent you that picture going, well, I'm never going to hear from David again, he's just not up for this. Can you tell me what happened after you took a look at a couple of my videos?
yeah, man. It's so first of all, your description was a little harsh. I don't think I said like don't ever talk to me again. I was just afraid of the whole push technique. I was like, oh man, I don't just I all I did was looked at
And
his
being
all I did
being in
was
the
I
sales game, being in the sales game
yeah,
too, I didn't know that at that time.
yeah. I was just thinking, listen, I don't want this dude. Don't push your shit on me. If let me can come to you and let
Mm.
me make the decision. And when and then you back and then, again, Sean, this is this the part of this that's really interesting is I wasn't looking for something. I wasn't. I was just going about my normal keto and every other shit phase that I was, excuse my language,
That's all
every
right.
other phase of trying to lose the weight crap diet that I could think of. And that moment, I just saw your video, and then after you put the sign up, it I started watching your videos, and I said, you know what? I guess a call with this guy wouldn't hurt. I mean, why not hear what he has to say? I heard every other crap pitch out there. Let me add another one. Maybe this guy's going to be different. Maybe he's got, and based on your videos and what you had to say, I was like, it does sound like there's going to be something different here. So let me hear what it is, and let's see what happens with it. So yeah, that was it. It was yeah. Let's make this conversation happen.
I appreciate it. And such a big step as well, David. And when I say sales, okay, and again, if you're watching, wherever you're watching, I am a coach that has to do a bit of sales rather than a salesman that has to do a bit of coaching. And David, you can relate where you were probably high in skepticism, high
Yeah,
on anxiety or fear, low on confidence, low on hope,
yeah,
or lower on hope, I should say. And then if you throw a rock on Instagram or social media, you'll see a coach and they're offering something. So for me, that I know what I've got. I know what I've got. I know what I can help you do. And the most, if I can, this is the smallest part of this process, is having that conversation, right? On the, like, if we're chatting in the DMs and then move to a quick phone call, David, like, that is the smallest part, but it is obviously a crucial part, maybe the most crucial part. Because if we can't talk and share about what you're going through, me sharing what I do, there's never going to be an understanding of the potential opportunity that is there. I love that our conversation, David, was basically like, for me, looking back, it was, you were very cold. I reached out to you. You took a look at my stuff. we had a great conversation about, and you shared, what you've been going through. And I think I didn't even say anything. You were just like, okay. You were like, at the end of you sharing, you're like, I think I shared a bit about the program or whatever. Then you're like, okay, let's go. And one of my most favorite ever moments in coaching to date was you sending me a voice message, David, after saying, okay, Sean, let's go. Sean, I don't even know what the fuck I'm buying. I'm buying you. And that just absolutely cracked me up.
Yeah, that's true, man. There's that's what you do. I mean, that's what I believe in sales is, when I'm meeting with a customer, I'm building trust. I want them to see my authentic self. I want them to gain something from it, and I want them to be an educated consumer, and because that's the best kind of consumer to have. So, our conversation was just it was a delightful therapy session that allowed me to speak some things. You listened, and then you told me about your program, which obviously I really didn't hear that much about. But I was confident in you. I was confident that you were going to coach me. Listen. I again, being a guy who's been relatively athletic most of my life, I also never consistently worked out. I could never get my ass to the gym for more than, a week or a couple weeks at a time. Sometimes hiring a trainer at the gym and then not wanting to go back the next day because they treated me like I worked me out so hard that I couldn't move the next day. I know most cases what I need to do to get healthy. Um, but I'm also not fantastic at nutrition. And I need somebody to give me a little push, a little motivation. And that's what I was looking for with you to help me out with a plan and execution of the plan. Hold me accountable, right? I needed accountability. In that sense, I needed somebody to say, yo, let's go, you know?
Let's fucking go. And David, it is a big deal. Like in a sense, like you and my other partners, my other dads are placing your life in my hands, and I relish that responsibility. Like if like hearing like a really negative experience with a trainer, for example, whether it's a trainer or anyone else, where it's shit and you hate it. I have the opportunity to help you change your life, which you've been doing. I'm looking forward to getting into that
Mm-hmm.
here, and what it means for you, what it means for your sons, what it means for your grandson, what it means for you, your quality of life, and every word that you show up for, whether it's your sister down in Virginia or where, all these different friends, family, roles, spaces that you're at, and just that life satisfaction. Um, David, do you mind if I ask you? Okay, so we've actually started now the second phase, but if we can just go back to that kind of first phase, what was your do you mind sharing with the audience what your kind of experience was on your launch program with me as your coach?
Yeah. So, first off, the launch program was easy to follow. The app was fantastic. It's pretty self-explanatory. Um, I made a little mistake, couple mistakes myself by just assuming things instead of just reaching out because whenever I reach out to you, you're right there, boom, answer, no problem. But there were the workouts were manageable, which was perfect, right? I didn't want to wake up dying every day. I didn't want to just be killing myself with this workout program that just completely annihilated me. It's just not at the point of life that I was looking to do. So it was a manageable workout. The diet, which was my biggest challenge, was figuring out understanding macros and protein and carbs and fat and what was the last one? Cartoon,
Protein, fats, and carbs. That's good. That's good. The big
proteins,
three.
fats, and carbs, right? And understanding how many, and then how understanding how to just split them up during the day. And I'm still getting used to that, but I did a really good job of staying within my limits. Sometimes I was probably too short on my limits. I was a little shallow, but they were sustainable. And once you start getting into the flow and understanding them, it becomes easy. And like you even like I weigh my food most of the time when I can. weigh the ounces and everything. But when I can't, I can tell the portions now. I can look at it and tell a portion. I know, in a handful, I can tell if how many ounces are in a piece of chicken within reason. And
Yeah,
I know that's
yeah,
what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to
yeah.
stay within reason. I'm trying to stay within a certain parameters, right? Um, my accountability to you is, and I'm sorry, the walking. I can't underestimate the walking is the easiest thing that you can do, and probably the most beneficial and sustainable amongst everything, right? It's just and it's mind clearing. It's a moment to yourself where you just get to go out, and I'm even talking about now when it's 0 degrees, right? We're freezing. It's the best time. Get out there and feel the freaking air hit you in the face and wake you up and go, I'm alive. I'm alive. But it's this the thing I love about the program, Sean, is it teaches you, and it teaches you how to live a sustainable life managing these. I am not missing anything. To your point, the program lets me eat whatever I want to eat within reason. There's some things that you obviously got to be careful about, right? You go
Hmm.
out and you eat salty foods. Those things are going to you're going to keep your weight. The sodium's going to regulate. It's going to keep you, but you're going to lose it if you keep running the program. It's not possible for you not to lose weight. You cannot take a manual on how to build a motorcycle, follow the directions, and then end up building a cake, right? And
Yeah.
it's the same thing. You have to, you follow the program, it's going to work for you. And I feel amazing. I feel so freaking good.
What
It's
feels
it's
what feels amazing?
What doesn't? My body feels amazing. I'm almost at 30 pounds. I walked around the other day carrying a 30-pound weight, just saying, wow, I was carrying this with my body, my poor body. And I've looked at it that way differently too,
Yeah,
right? I'm looking at my body as my machine now. I'm
yeah.
saying, you got to treat this thing right, man. Like your brain, right? I'm up here, I'm making these decisions, but this guy down here that's carrying everything. And the weight loss has made things less stressful. Not to mention my mind is clearer. I feel more refreshed. I get up early every day. I look forward to my walk every day, or walks,
Yeah.
whenever at multiple. I don't want to eat crappy food. I have no interest in it. I don't want to drink alcohol. I had a couple drinks here and there when we've gone through it. And
Yeah.
when I did, I was like, shit, this is going to mess up my whole weekend. I don't feel crappy the next day. I feel good the next day. I'm waking up. I'm going for my weekend walks. I'm going 8 miles, 9 miles. It's
It's
I just it's great.
it's incredible, and that is beyond. You're doing more than I have programmed. Like, and I think that speaks to the work that you've put in, David, and the sort of inevitable when you have come from a place where you're feeling like shit. I believe that my program, and appreciate you saying there's nothing off the table. You can eat everything unless it triggers you
Yeah,
into a binge. And we're learning how to
yeah,
build that discipline and how to have everything.
yeah.
I'm drinking a prime here, whatever.
Hmm.
Like it's not the healthiest thing, but it's something sweet. It's got a, it's got
Hmm.
a big, but it's something sweet, volume, and I'm able to enjoy that instead of focusing on how to try and live like a Tibetan monk and keel and
Right.
air, whatever. I want you and I want me to have the pizza and the ice cream and the beer at appropriate times, but not at a level which compromises your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual health. I love that you are now, doing these lengths of walks because you are able to and because you want to rather than you being told to. And this is the momentum shift going from on like horizontal on the sofa to doing fucking 8 9 mile walks because you love it and love how it's feeling. And of course it's part of the work, David, that you are doing to go from 260. I think you went 28 pounds in the first 12 weeks. From 261 you're on your way to 190 pounds. If I get hit by a truck tomorrow or a tractor out here in Virginia, you've got the blueprint there to go. But I want to share before I end this monologue, one of my favorite moments with you, David, was the video that you sent of me on skates. Can you tell us how long it had been since you were on skates?
Yeah, well, I mean, played roller hockey as a kid, and um, I just had, I want to get some, I want to throw a, a little extra routine. I want to keep moving, man. I'm loving my moving again. So I went to the hockey store, bought myself a pair of rollerblades, and guy said, "Hey, you want to try them on here and try them out?" I said, "Nope, that's not happening here." I said, "I'll put them on out by myself, and we'll let what happens happen without anybody viewing me." Um, the last recollection I have of playing roller hockey was with my kids, and it was at least 20 years ago. We went to a local park and played some roller hockey, and with my boys, just us together playing some roller hockey. And yeah, it's a great memory. I mean, I loved it. It was fun, and so yeah, so I popped them on, and I felt like if you've seen people with ice skates get on ice skates for the first time and their ankles are all like, I felt
Yeah,
like that. And I thought, oh my God, like I used to whip around like nothing. This is like a new experience.
yeah,
But you saw, I took some video. I mean,
yeah.
I got, it's like riding a bike. It took some time, but yeah, I got my stick out and I whacked the hockey ball around a little bit and skated
Yeah.
around for like an hour, I think it was. And yeah,
20 over 20 fucking years. Like it's amazing. It's thrilling. It is thrilling. And
yeah,
David, part of this is now going from feeling limited to, I hope this is a fair characterization, feeling unlimited. Like
yeah.
nothing can stop you. Like going, like I don't, that probably was not going to be on the cards at 261. Going into a store, buying a pair of skates, and going into
No.
a parking lot there. And now you're doing this. Uh, like it feels thrilling to see you kill it like that.
Let me add something. I don't know if I'm sure you remember it, but it was a few weeks ago. I was doing one of my workouts, and I wanted to push myself on my squats, and because squats are such a big part of this, and strengthening your core and your lower legs, and um, I just didn't feel like I was going deep enough into my squats, and so I got myself in front of like a bar that I could hold on to, and just let myself slowly roll into a deeper squat. And my hesitancy was because of my knees and because of the surgery, the torn meniscus that I had repaired. I just was afraid to push it. And I did it. And I was so joyful, man. I almost wanted to cry. Next thing I know, I let go of the bar and I'm pumping out deep squats. And then I'm doing sumo squats with weights and I'm going into deep squats. And I'm a fast moving guy. I kind of do things quickly. And so for me, my workouts, I have to mentally prepare myself to say, slow it down because I will try to get through that workout fast. I'll try to. And what I wound up doing was it took time. It wasn't in the beginning, but I ended up slowing myself down because I wanted to really concentrate and focus on the muscle groups that were designed to hit and form. So it's changed in the past few weeks. It's even been better because I'm just really nailing down form more and hitting those focused muscle groups. Like today, my arms are hurting from my Wednesday workout and the
Yeah,
isolated curls, and I mean
yeah.
just really slowly hitting them, and they're burned. They're still sores out right now. So
I
yeah,
love it. I love it. And I just love that it's getting better and better and it's not going to stop. You don't hit a certain level. You're forming this you're rooting this progress, this success in your daily and weekly habits, David. And
yeah.
as you center these habits as your lifestyle, it gets better and better and better. Anyway, one of the things for me seeing you has been we're gonna wrap this up in a couple of minutes, but one of the things I've seen is your face. Besides you getting leaner and dropping close to 30 pounds at the moment, you're getting stronger, you're out in your skates, you're walking friggin' 8, 9 miles because you want to. Um, you look healthy. Like you look healthy. The color in your cheeks. Um, we saw those first set of progress pictures. Like the changes, the visual progress is significant. you've talked about the joints. How's your body feeling? How's your body feeling?
My body feels good. It sometimes feels sore, but I'm older and
Mm.
I'm working out. So listen, yesterday I went for a 4 mile walk in my development. My 8 mile walk is on flat land down a trail. That's no problem. But when you drop a 4 mile walk in it with hills, oh boy, that's a different animal. So my hammies and all, I'm feeling it today, but my body feels great. My bloat is the biggest thing. Like, you know, I feel, let's put it this way, where I am at weight now, when I was here before, I felt heavier than I feel at the weight now because I feel like the bloat's going. I'm healthier. There's no doubt about it. I'm healthier. I'm definitely the exercise, and it's again, it's 3 times a week working out. It's not hard. It's not
Yeah,
hard. And it
love it.
feels great. My body feels great.
I love it. I love it. And instead of declining, you are soaring. You're on an ascent, um, which is fantastic. And thinking down the line, you know, you don't want to be. I don't want to be wheeled about. I want to take care of anything I can take care of with my lifestyle changes, so that I can mitigate, mobility issues, different illnesses, different diseases. And that's what you're doing at the minute. That's what I'm doing. Wherever you are, whatever
Yeah.
age you are, it's happening and it's getting better, instead of that background anxiety about shit like the future is not looking so hopeful at the minute. David, do you mind if I ask you, what would you say to, and maybe this is, an easy way to think about this is talking to the David Reel of, 4 months ago, what would you say to dads, in a similar boat to us, that were, carrying 40 pounds or are carrying 40 pounds plus, 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 that are not feeling hopeful or confident that things can change? What would you say to them about potentially working with me or hiring me, I should say, to help them get this done and turn things around?
So much like yourself in my sales profession, I prefer to think of my clients as partners, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're in a partnership. And I have already told friends and family about what I'm going, my transformation with you. And this, and by the way, I'm already off my medications. I'm not even taking my medications. I'm healthy. I've just had my doctor checkup. I'm doing great.
What did
But
you mind if I ask you quick before I continue? What did your doctor say about what you're doing?
it's a family doctor. Told me not to lose too much weight quickly. And I said, shut up. I said, you know what? You guys don't know what you're talking about, really. But she was happy for me. She was happy that
Okay.
I lost the weight. But quite honestly, this is an investment in your future. It's an investment in your health. Think of it this way. The money that you spend for this to work with Sean is money that will be saved by possibly, and I'm saying possibly because I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but maybe you will not have those medications that you have to spend extra money on. Maybe in the future you'll reduce doctor's visits. Maybe you'll not get diabetes. Maybe you won't get gout or lose a foot, or there's so many things that you're having your health and this is going to do for your future, not physically, first of all, how you're going to feel, but just hold yourself accountable because we all have it in us. We just, man, we're just bogged down with life and its busyness, and you deserve this for yourself. You do. And then I know we're saying it's for our families, but you deserve to feel good. And you will. And this is for you in that sense. You get to feel good. You get the benefits of this, and you get somebody to help you be accountable. Now, Sean hasn't had to yell at me. He hasn't, but because I know he's there. I know it, and that for me, that's my accountability. I'm holding myself accountable because I don't want him to hold me accountable. Like I was never that guy in my work that I need the boss to hold me accountable. I don't need that. The boss is there and I know he's there, so I'll hold myself accountable. But if you need that, you got a guy here who's going to give you a little push. He's going to fire, and he's going to fire up. He ain't going to be an asshole about it. Again, excuse my language. But he's going to give you some motivation. He's going to help you to achieve your goals, right? The goals that you want, and he's going to do it in a way that's it's just it's a great way. It's you're going to feel comfortable working with Sean. He's a good dude, and he's going to help you get healthy. So if you follow this program, it's easy. Again, you're not taking pills. It's a sustainable way of life. Like Sean says, if we would get out of touch, I should be able to maintain my program myself without any issues, as long as I choose to do so. You know, we got to hold ourselves accountable.
Well, I appreciate it, and appreciate your, your support and your warm words. I know that, you know, Isle of Fitness, like I consider it like a mission, and I get to earn a living helping rock stars like yourself, David, make amazing changes. And we chat every day,
Yeah.
and we have a little hashtag no fuckery and
Yeah.
getting it done. And it's I love that we and you are hopefully enjoying it, having a laugh while you are doing amazing
Yeah.
work. Amazing, like 28 pounds in 12 weeks is. I'm glad that your doctor thinks that's fast. This is on a sustainable way of doing
Yeah.
it. But like you said, something there, sustainably getting to enjoy everything, being active, having the nice Thanksgiving dinner, and there's been only a couple of times where I've had to say, okay, David, like maybe we change that, we do something different the next time. But
Mm-hmm.
exactly what you're saying, you were ready to make these changes, and then you got your program, you've got stuck in, and the vibes now are like we're going from 261 shortly into the 220s and onwards, marching into sub 200. um David, is there anything else? I'm gonna wrap it up here. It's been the time flies in these conversations, but I've absolutely loved chatting with you. And again, thanks for your time being here. Is there anything else you want to share, leave the audience with before we wrap it up?
Yeah. I mean, listen, you're a partner. You're a partner, and it is fun. I'll send you a message every time I'm out walking. Sometimes I'll send you a video so you can see me bundled up in some kind of craziness, and get yourself some type of monitor to track your steps. Get yourself 10,000 steps a day. I mean, just at least start somewhere, do something, get your ass off the couch and start moving around. But don't hesitate. This is an investment in your health and your future, and it's minuscule when you look at it in the long term. It's nothing. Break it down. Break it down. I know I maybe even suggested to you. Take
Yeah,
that investment, put it out over a year, put it out over a day, each day, and then figure out what the cost is per day,
hmm
to do something like this. And I would break it down to my customers and say, you know what, this is a cup of coffee. It's a cup
yeah.
of coffee. Is it worth it to a cup of
I
coffee?
I
It's
appreciate I appreciate
yeah,
David, and what I like to think of it is, I want to help you enjoy 30 years plus of high quality living through this method. And when so I take that long time frame, and I
yeah,
and I couldn't do it if I was like, I want to help you lose weight for 12 weeks. I'm helping
yeah,
you crack the David Real lifestyle code in a way that's going to stick forever. You're loving it, and it's a privilege to be a part of it. Now, before you go, all right, before you go, I'm gonna stop this recording, and I want to say, cheerio to you after, so don't jump off, all right? But the final thing I want to say to people out there watching, likely dads, okay, if you are struggling, it's worth exploring your options. If we chat, if you want to chat, reach out. There's no pressure. There's not like you say hello and I ask in the reply, what's your credit card number? We have to go through a process to make sure that it's a good fit for you, and also, to be fair, for me, because I want to make sure that you are serious about making serious changes that stick, rather than wanting to be some sort of quick fix that's never going to work. But most importantly, if you're a dad and you're struggling, I've been there. David was there. Uh, what I offer, I believe, is uh, a wonderful way to make changes that stick and you never look back. So please feel encouraged to reach out, send me hello, a hello on Instagram, reach out to me on my website. You can book a call straight on my islefitness.com. There's like book a call with Sean. Sean at Isle of Fitness, SEAN at Isle of Fitness. Say hello. I'm interested. We chat. If it's a good fit, you hire me and I have the privilege of helping you change your fucking life. And I get to be part of your life and legacy. And I love it because I know what it's meant for me and my family. I can still be an arsehole, absolutely, but I am a much better man, husband, father for making these changes and showing up in a healthier, happier way. With that, David, like I said, don't get off the call just yet. I'm going to stop the recording. Please check me out at Isle of Fitness on Instagram. Um, the website again at www.islefitness.com. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. I'll talk to you soon.